Question we get from parents that have half their child's team in high school and half their child's team in middle school is, what's the plan? Because half the year those high schoolers will go play high school soccer when the middle schoolers don't. This isn't a one-fit-all type of scenario, but we do have plans set in place. Typically, if your child has half their team, up to 14 players that are still in middle school, then they'll play in what we call a secondary league. It's still competitive soccer, but it's designed for those middle school ages. If half the team is in high school and they have less than 14 players, then they would do, most likely would put together a practice player plan for them, and they would train through their season with another team that is actually playing games. Unfortunately, they won't get to play games, but they have the opportunity to still train. So say there's 3 or 4 kids that are still in middle school and the rest of the team went off to high school. This is where us as a staff would sit down and choose a team that's still training in that off season for them, and we would team them up there and they'd be practice players. We'd do our best to keep them together, but say there's 6 kids that are still in middle school. Well, we might not be able to keep all 6 kids together training. Maybe we send 3 with one team and 3 with another team. They still have the opportunity to train in their off season, to progress and get better, and then when it comes to tryouts, they're not necessarily behind all those kids that went off to high school to play soccer. For those middle school players, this comes with an additional cost to your fees, but it does allow you to train year-round and still better your skills come tryout time. Another opportunity for one of those players that might not be in high school yet and is not necessarily left behind but still in middle school would be to do a practice player position, but also start talking to coaches and maybe try to find individual opportunities. So it would cost more money, but it's still an opportunity to still progress their skills maybe at an appropriate level. Sometimes we have players that don't make the roster of a team but are still looking to improve their skills. We have a program that's for practice players only. In this program, players have the option of training once a week with a team or 2 to 3 times a week with a team. The first option, where it's once a week with a team, costs $100 for the season. The second option, when they train 2 to 3 times a week with a team, costs $250 a season. This also kind of comes into play when we're dealing with middle school players that half their team go off to high school. They don't have enough players to create their own team. We typically push them towards becoming practice players.